Hey, it's Brock here with Rock Hill Farm, and today we're going to work on building a bridge from the island to the far bank of the pond. And this part of the project is something I've actually been putting off because I wasn't certain the best way to do it. And the challenge is not building the bridge, really. The challenge is supporting the ends of the bridge so that time and erosion don't cause us a problem or have it falling in the pond. So let me show you what we're working on. In case you're new here, I bought this property. It had an existing pond. I made the pond bigger. I dug this expansion. We left an island, built a bridge. We've got a windmill that aerates the pond. And now we're doing a second bridge. And if anyone's wondering why, it's because when I finished this, I was proud of it. And my wife said, if you're doing one bridge, you need two. So here we are. So we've got these piers already set, and they've been here for quite a while, and they're pretty solid. And those are going to support the weight out in the center. And just for reference, normal water level is about 2/3 of the way up that pier. We're in the dry season and I've drained it down right now. So we have those center support areas for the bridge. What we need to build is supports for each end. And those two ends provide different challenges. So on this side, we have this big area here to land it on, but we do have concern about erosion happening here underneath it. So we want to build a concrete pad, but we want that concrete pad to be anchored deeper into the island. So I think the decision we've come up with, and we're going to measure all this out and mark it before we start, but we're going to dig a big hole right here that's a lot deeper and tie that into the concrete pad so that this whole thing is anchored if there is some erosion. So I've got my brother-in-law here to help me today. He's the head engineer. He's from Rex Works Outdoors, and we're going to be using this Bommalite auger and mini skid steer to dig a hole for our concrete. And that's why I'm really glad I put that land bridge in so that I can get across there. I mean, for one hole, we could hand dig it, but this will be nicer. We've done a lot of our planning here, and I think this is going to work out better than I anticipated. So I've got the transit level set to this. And good news is, all four of these are level. They've been here for almost 2 years and they haven't sunk. They're still level. You know, they're not going anywhere. And then we checked level from this over to the island and it's within an inch. Now we want the height of the concrete pad to be level with these. So we need to dig down 4 inches in and frame up a box to pour concrete in over here. And we've measured. If we put a joint, these sticks are 20 foot long. We got 2 sticks, makes a 40-foot bridge. If we put the joint dead center between these 2 piers, that gives us 18 inches of the metal bridge up onto the dirt of the island. And we're setting that on a larger concrete pad and bolting it down. So that's going to work out perfectly. And this side I thought was a big problem. I thought we were going to have to build this frame out a big box here and build it up, and it's really not the case. Centering the joint between those beams, our metal of our bridge will come out to here, and that orange paint mark is also exactly at ground height. So the bridge could almost just set here if you were just throwing it up for temporary use, but instead we're going to build that same box here, and we're going to have to dig down just enough to set that box in. We might have to build up just a few inches on this side. So we've built some squares that are 4 foot by 4 foot, and the bridge is going to come halfway across on that concrete, but our concrete pad for the bridge will be 4 foot square on each side. And we set that concrete or that wooden frame right here and drew it out, and those paint marks show you where the concrete pad is going to be. So this area needs dropped about 6 inches. That area actually needs brought up a little bit. And he's doing the same thing over there. It looks kind of twisted. The back of it go that way just a little bit. There, that looks pretty good. So we've got our grade stick, and I'm going to dig out a flat square here, and then we just set this in place. What have we got, about 8 inches or so?
Between 9 and 10.
It's too high?
Yeah.
What about the front part, the front corner? Do I need to pull more off up here? That just might be
pretty
smashed.
close.
What
It's
about
actually
up
pretty
here?
close.
Lower?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're a little bit low.
Yeah, we can have an inch of variation. There's extra concrete.
Yeah.
So the middle can be low as long as the frame can set down. You think we're there?
Yeah, I can manipulate it. Let me check right there.
If maybe the middle of that back edge needs a little bit pulled off.
Just back here.
Like to your right about a foot.
Yeah, from right there to right here. A bucket width, just a little bit. See how you, hey, this height right here.
Okay.
We're a little bit low, same thing. I think we're good.
Right there?
Okay.
All right, so we have one side framed out, and we've got this nice big 12-inch hole there that is going to anchor this concrete pad so much better than the way I did the other bridge. All right, that's one side. Now we got to do the same thing on the other side with it's a little harder to access over here. That's probably too deep, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe just a little bit.
Okay, we are like 2 or 3 inches too low. Okay.
You just need to, it was pretty level, Brock, so you only need a 2x4 thickness down. There you go.
Now you do this part right here.
Hey, Brock, the paint is just right on the edge, so if you go a little bigger, it ain't gonna hurt anything. We can backfill.
Yep.
That is much easier than removing.
One more spot right here, and then we'll measure.
Drawing the lines, I guess.
I'm gonna drive the machine out of here. Are we good?
Check and see where we're at. Right here. Up. Give me the dirt. Pop it off.
We've got the 2 squares set in. We've got our deep hole there. Concrete truck is here. We're gonna fill these up. Now we got this like this, and once this is full of concrete, we'll reposition these, and then we'll put in more rebar. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get a bunch of comments about not doing a professional job on the concrete, but ultimately, I just wasn't that worried about it.
these are just concrete pads that you're barely even going to notice, and it's just a landing area to hold the end of the bridge still. And it's not really supporting much of a load anyway. So I didn't have any interest in putting more time or effort into them. A part of me wants to say that anything worth doing is worth doing right, and that I should have paid more attention to finish the corners out after we were done and stuff like that. But the other part of me says, good enough is good enough, and this is good enough. So go ahead and tell me which of those two old cliches you agree with more. Now, this part of the process is something I had concerns about, was how we were going to get the concrete over there. Because the concrete truck definitely did not have a long enough chute to reach out onto the island from either bank. And you wouldn't even have enough slope if you did have a chute that long. So we were going to have to take that over manually. But I'm really glad that I built that land bridge to access this area. Otherwise, this would have been a ton of work. When we did the concrete pad for the windmill, we actually carried it over in buckets, which was really a pain. Now, on the second pad, we installed rebar throughout the square, throughout the pad, but we forgot to do that on the first side, so we went back and added them after the fact.
Okay, I'm really excited about the way this is going, and we're hoping to get the bridge finished tomorrow. I mean, that's a lot of welding. We'll see if that works out or not, but we've got the 2 concrete pads on either side that are level. We've got all our metal here. Should be nothing stopping us. And it's been 2 years in the making. So I appreciate you taking time to watch the video. I'll put links on the screen to a couple more of our videos, and I'll see you next time.